And welcome again to another time of live broadcast. My name is Charles Lamadan. This is the official Facebook page of the Liberia Legislative Corporation, and this is a program marking the commissioning of the Liberia Energy Efficiency and Access Project LEEA. We now see the arrival of Liberia's Vice President, Honorable Jeremiah Koung, alongside with officials of the Liberia Legislative Corporation, the interim managing director, Honorable Thomas Koung, alongside with the board chairman, Mr. Emmanuel Toudet, the European ambassador. They all are here. So let's now take the camera quite close. So, okay. So that's it. So, Vice President has just arrived about to start this all important ceremony.
Vice President of Liberia.
So that's it. So in a moment from now, we're going to quickly cross over to the podium where the communication manager, Verito Sankari, get started with the all important ceremony.
Ladies and gentlemen, to commence this program today, we will start with an invocation, and this is the commissioning of the Liberia Liberia Energy Efficiency and Access Project (LEEP) here at the LECRIA substation, Robertsville Highway. And for the invocation, we welcome to the podium Reverend Moses S. Kirwood, Bishop-elect, Overcomer International.
Shall we all please stand? And let us pray. Gracious eternal Father, we thank you for this day. This is the day that you have made. We have come to rejoice and be glad in it. Thank you for the Liberia Electricity Corporation as we go through the commission of the Liberia Energy Efficient Access Project. We commit this unique and colorful occasion into your hands. And we pray, Lord, that whatsoever we do here today, let your name be glorified. That this is the beginning of a new day, a new era for our nation and the people of Margibi, especially Unification City. Be glorified, Lord. This is our prayer. In Jesus' mighty name we have prayed.
Amen. May we all have our seats. Before we go into the welcome remark, we would like to recognize the presence of dignitaries here today. We will start by recognizing the presence of Honorable Jeremiah Koung, Vice President of the Republic of Liberia, Councillor Emmanuel Toudet, Chairman of the Board of Directors at the Electricity Corporation. We want to welcome or recognize Mr. Carl Bacchius, Ambassador of the Embassy of Sweden, Madam Nona Dupre, Ambassador of the EU delegation here in Liberia. We also want to recognize Mr. Yusuf Bob Fudi, the officer in charge at the African Development Bank, one of the funders of this project. We also want to recognize Honorable Jero Mensko, Managing Director of Liberia Airport Authority. We will recognize Madam Regina Ajivon Benson, CSR Manager at the Liberia Airport Authority as well. Mr. Roger Stewart, representative of the European Investment Bank here present. We'll also welcome Mr. Peter Speer, Consular, Deputy Head of Mission at the Embassy of the Federal Republic of Germany. Honorable Massaquoi M. Kama, Chairman of Board of Directors of the Liberia Airport Authority, and other government officials here present, the employees of the Liberia Electricity Corporation, the representatives of the contractors that implemented this project here present. So we go into the welcome remark, and it's going to be done by Honorable Judy Z. Smith, Mayor, Unification City. A round of applause for her, please.
So mayor of the vacation city here in Lower Margibi County. Gonna be making the welcome remark.
I'm so humbled to stand on a existing protocol to say all protocol observed and sustained. First of all, I will take this time to welcome the Almighty God who has brought us this far. And I will also take this time to welcome His Excellency Jeremiah Koung, Vice President of the Republic of Liberia, and the Chairman of the Liberia Electricity Corporation, Chairman Board, and the Minister of Mines, Energy, and all other government officials here present, and the Unification City members are here today to grace this occasion, the press, and other friends that are all around here today observing this all important program. We say, on behalf of Unification City, we say you are welcome. Welcome. God bless us all.
Thank you very much. So we may be wanting to know what this commissioning ceremony, we're talking about Liberia Energy Efficiency and Access Project. We may want to know all of what it's about and what the impact is. To do that, we're going to have the overview of the LEEP and special recognition. It's going to be done by Mr. Henry Kimba, Project Manager.
Henry Kimba is the project manager of LEEP. He's now about to give us a full, comprehensive historical analysis about how the project came about.
His Excellency, Honorable Koung, Vice President of the Republic of Liberia, government officials here present, development partners, the members of the Diplomatic Corps, invited guests, the Pope Estate, ladies and gentlemen. Today is indeed a joyous day for LEC and a very good day for Liberia. I'm happy to lead a group of dedicated and talented professionals. If you could just stand, my project team. As we deliver what will go down in history as one of the most strategic and impactful projects in the history of the Liberia Electricity Corporation. So I will thank you guys for doing that. And I also want to thank the government of Liberia, the European Union, and the African Development Bank Group for making the financing available to do this project. The LEEA was signed back in 2017 with the objective of increasing electricity access in Liberia and also enhancing the human and institutional capacity within the electricity sector. If you look in your bulletin, we've listed a few achievements that we did, but I don't mind saying it again. So we built 2 major substations, one in the Shuffling area and one right here, which will be going to commission or at least cut the ribbon today. But what is important is that the project identified 2 major corridors in Liberia. So this is not just about the RIA or the unification town or its environs. This project identified 2 key economic corridors in Liberia. One of them is the Painesville to RIA, and of course it extends a little bit beyond. It goes as far as Owens Grove in Grand Bassa County. But it also, we're also connecting. The next corridor is the Plebo to Fishtown. So if you go over to the Plebo to Fishtown, you'll see that we've connected people in Plebo all the way to Fishtown, another major economic corridor in Liberia. And within both corridors, we're able to make significant achievements. We've connected about 40,000 customers. We've connected so many educational academic institutions, health facilities, pharmacies, public buildings, etc. So we've done all of these. But ladies and gentlemen, and we're going to be real short today, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, implementing these development projects entails more than just financing. Of course, it entails a collaborative effort. It entails dedicated staff to do that. And we want to thank everybody who helped us along the way. Many times we saw ordinary people, we saw dignitaries, we saw just people coming to us, helping us. What can we do to help develop this project? And we've done that. So we want to take this time to thank all of those who helped us in achieving these goals or these objectives. But we'll be remiss, honorables, if we don't recognize a few individuals and entities. See, when we first started this project, at one point, it seemed like we were not going anywhere. Even from the African Development Bank side, I don't mind saying that. And then the African Development Bank was foresight in recognizing the issues. And they said, you know what, let us bring in a tax manager in country. With that person in country, we could help to implement these activities a little better, more effectively, etc. So after doing that, Mr. Emmanuel Maniragaba was the tax manager who came and actually took this project from the ground. It wasn't the beginning though, but when we were going nowhere, he was one of those who really saw that we brought up the project and implemented his activities. So Mr. Officer in charge, please extend our appreciation to Mr. Emmanuel Maniragaba. He's in absentia. And we also like to recognize another entity in absentia, and that will be the Ministry of National Defense / the AFL. See, we built a big substation over in Shuffling, but acquiring the land, helping us with security, it wasn't that easy, and they didn't have to do it. But because they were a direct beneficiary of the project, the armed forces deployed its men to help us in our initial efforts, clearing the place for the groundbreaking ceremony, ensuring that all our things were protected. And for this, I'd like to thank in absentia the Ministry of National Defense and the AFL for the assistance given us to achieve this project. And like I said earlier, a lot of people helped us along the way, but there were some people too who, it was a little difficult. So people who really helped us, we don't mind saying it. I remember we had to go across the Farmington River. And to go across the Farmington River means you have to go to the Firestone concession. Going to the Firestone concession means you have to cut down some trees. Wow, we're thinking we don't have money for that. How are we going to manage? Well, the Firestone Corporation was generous in allowing us to cut down over 400 trees at no cost to the project. So I want to recognize and thank the Firestone. I know you're represented there by my brother Alpha Jallo from the Firestone Corporation. Thanks for the support towards this project. And honorable ladies and gentlemen, I'll be remiss big time if I don't recognize, which is the last but nowhere the least on my list, the ground for which you sit or stand was given to us by the Liberia Airport Authority. We started the discussion with them, and they were just real generous, supportive in granting us this land. But not only that, you will remember that at some point along the line back in December 2013, we had a situation where there was a fire outbreak in our substation. And our fire services all the way back in Monrovia. So getting here to call off the fire would have been a serious challenge. But the airport authority came to our rescue and was able to cut off the fire. So this time I'd like to give special recognition to the Liberia Airport Authority. I know they're represented by Mr. Mexico. Thank you so much, and let's go to the chairman of the board. So again, I want to thank all of you who helped us. We appreciate the kind gesture, we appreciate the support, and this is a great day for us. Let us enjoy this project. This is the serious work that was done by the government of Liberia and its donor partners. My last message goes to the beneficiaries. LEC, this is what we do is building the backbone. So we want to encourage all of you here, whether you're from Unification Town, you're from Marshall, Dwyer Zone, R2, wherever you may be, Cotton Tree. We at LEC, we don't connect people based on economic or political status. We connect people indiscriminately. It doesn't matter your status, it doesn't matter whether you're a minister or whoever. What we do is when we enter an area, we connect everyone according to our technical specifications and if it's technically feasible. But what behoves you is to pay for your consumption. It's very disappointing when you have our donor partners, if you have senior government officials who look for these monies for us to do this work. And then after connecting these customers, we come here and we see that everybody is somewhat in the power tent. This is bad for you as individuals, it's bad for LEC, it's bad for the country. To give us the ability to expand what we're doing to other communities, other neighborhoods, you will have to pay for your consumption. So it doesn't matter if you can afford, if you can use $100 a month or $10 a month, it doesn't matter. But what we would like from you, from LEC, is for you to pay for whatever you consume. So I want to challenge all of you here today from the communities that this project covers. Please pay for your consumption and discourage power theft. Power theft is not good for us, it's not good for you, and it's not good for our country. Thank you.
Herman Kiman is the lead project manager. He was given a full comprehensive analysis overview of this, the commissioning of the Liberian Energy Efficiency and Access Project.
We would like to recognize Madam Johanna Magbieta, the ambassador of the UK to Liberia. We also recognize Honorable Thomas Z. Gonkerwan, interim managing director at the Liberia Electricity Corporation. We also want to recognize the presence of Minister Charles Umeha, Deputy Minister of Energy at the Ministry of Mines and Energy. So we'll go into the remark segment here, and the first on our list for remark is going to come from the EU delegation, and it's going to be done by Madam Nona Dupre, head of delegation.
So the EU ambassador, head of delegation to Liberia, Madalena Dupre, is walking towards the podium. So let's take the camera.
Good afternoon to all. Mr. Vice President, ministers and members of government agencies here present, ambassadors of the European Union member states, chargé of the United Kingdom, European Investment Bank representative, country manager of African Development Bank, CEO of LEC and your team, and all protocols observed. I am thankful for LEC team for having organized this ceremony, but I'm really especially honored to be here with you today in this commissioning ceremony of the Liberia Energy Efficiency and Access Program. This is really the last milestone of connecting the international airport to the grid and knowing how important this is for Liberia's fight against greenhouse gas emissions and climate change. And while of course we know that the backup generator will remain essential to ensure that critical airport systems will continue to operate in the event of a power outage, we hope that the airport will reduce its electricity costs, and this will help to reorient investments in other important areas such as safety. But I don't want to repeat the important messages here that Henry already gave. It's really important that now we can use this to pay for consumption so that we can use this, the money that is freed up, into other productive investments. Mr. Vice President, the European Union, Member States, European Investment Bank here share, and we are together, we are Team Europe. We share a common interest in Liberia to improve access to energy for all Liberians. And separately also Sweden and Germany both have programs in the sector. And this is really a good example of us working together and working with the African Development Bank. I just want to add on the achievements of the program that Henry already mentioned on the transmission lines, substations, but also we have been able to train Liberian skilled staff in the power sector, from LEC, from the Ministry of Energy and Mines, from the Renewable and Rural Electrification Agency, the Environmental Protection Agency, and graduates in vocational schools have been trained through this program. And that also ensures that LEC can do the maintenance of this critical infrastructure, and that you don't need any outside people to do that maintenance. And today, proudly, we can say that LEC's connections of LEEA is made possible also by the establishment of a reliable ring network within Monrovia and its environment, thanks amongst others to the EU 52 million euros grant of Monrovia Light Up program that gave access to another 42,000 households in Greater Monrovia. And we also go beyond, because Team Europe is also supporting a 42 million euros grant, again, in the electrification program in the southeast that targets specifically Buchanan on transmission, Greenville, where we're building a solar plant and a mini hydro, and Barclayville, where we're building a solar plant. And that will give access to renewable energy to almost 55,000 Liberians and will create more than 100 new full-time jobs. It's a key priority for the EU, for Team Europe in Liberia. And we would be honored to visit that program now in March because we have already had the groundbreaking ceremony and we can already see some of the achievements of the program in the southeast. Of course, there are still challenges, but also potential, and Liberia has an amazing potential in terms of access to electricity and to renewable energy sources, mainly hydro and solar. And our partnership started with the rehabilitation of the Mount Coffee after the war, supporting the CLSG, and also we are still working on interesting plans that would include the expansion of Mount Coffee and our investment into St. Paul River 2 hydro project, supporting the upgrade of transmission lines, which would also be very much needed once you have more generation capacity. This is through our new strategy, which is called Global Gateway, where investing in Africa is a priority to boost smart, clean, and secure links in digital, energy, and transport sectors, and to strengthen health, education, and research across the world. Global Gateway stands for sustainable and trusted connections and infrastructure that work for the people and for the planet. Mr. Vice President, honorable dignitaries, ladies and gentlemen, we want a future where electricity from renewable energy provides opportunities for inclusive and sustainable growth and job creation. And there's a strong business case for energy transition, and the EU Green Deal is committed to supporting the transition of the African energy sector. The Africa-EU Green Energy Initiative contributes to Africa's ambition to increase renewable energy generation capacity by 300 gigawatts by 2030 and to secure access to affordable, reliable, and sustainable energy. Increasing regional electricity interconnections and market integration through support to the Continental Power System Master Plan and technical assistance to the African single electricity market is also a crucial priority for Team Europe. To summarize, the European Union fully supports Africa's power revolution and its mission to connect 300 people to electricity. And it's great to see Liberia's commitment to reforms in the Energy Compact that will help to achieve this fundamental milestone by 2030 for the future of the humanity and for our planet. I want to thank you. Thank you.
We're going to take a brief remark from Mr. Roger Stewart, head of the Regional Hub for West and Central Africa, European Investment Bank.
Thank you, Honorable Vice President of the Republic of Liberia, Honorable Ministers, Honorable Acting Director of the LEC, members of the Diplomatic Corps, all protocols observed. I will be brief. The ambassador was very eloquent in providing an overview of the role of the EU in Liberia. I'm representing the European Investment Bank. We're the banking arm of the European Union. We have the same shareholding, 27 member states of the EU, and we align our activities very much with those of the EU. In regards to activities outside the European Union, that's enshrined in the Global Gateway activity, which is intended to raise 300 billion of financing throughout Africa by 2027. And the European Investment Bank is committed to providing 100 billion of that. Last year, outside the European Union, we lent approximately 8 billion euros, of which 2.5 was in sub-Saharan Africa. And in that regard, 84% of our activities were aligned with the activities of Global Gateway. So we're very honored to be part of this ceremony. This is very much a success story, and as was alluded to earlier, it's connecting transmission lines and distribution through fundamental economic corridors here in Liberia. We were able to mobilize resources, EU resources, that were then managed by the African Development Bank very ably to bring this project to fruition. And in that regard, thank you very much for your hard work and the various obstacles you had to overcome. And I thank you for giving me the time to speak to you. Thank you.
Thank you. The next in the remark segment is a remark from the African Development Bank to be done by Mr. Yusuf Bob Fode, Officer in Charge, AFDB.
Thank you very much. Your Excellency, Mr. Vice President of the Republic of Liberia, government officials, esteemed members of the legislature is present here, distinguished members of the diplomatic corps, representative of international organizations, board and staff members of the LEC, comprising of the African Development Bank, the European Union, the Global Environmental Facility, and of course the government of Liberia. And Your Excellency the Vice President, your presence here today actually demonstrates further your government's commitment to solving energy issues in this country. We are just a week away from the Energy Compact meeting that was held in Tanzania, in which the President and his team attended, and they also did presentation of their own compact, being part of the first 12 countries that are part of the first cohort. And just 2 weeks after that, here we are to mark another mile, or to witness another milestone. Now, we are here together to, in this commissioning, Your Excellency, to confirm that the African Development Bank is ready to continue supporting this country, not only in the area of energy, which is our second largest portfolio, but also in many other sectors, such as transport, which is our largest portfolio. You could recall, or you may have been told, Honorable Vice President, that Liberia did present its technical and compact to the technical and financial partners and the private sector in the Energy Compact. And that compact, or that presentation, reflects the country's vision and strategy to accelerate access to reliable, affordable, and low-cost electricity and energy for the entire Liberian population, as well as clean cooking solution. Now, Your Excellency, I'm not going to dwell on the outcome of this investment, as Henry has already elaborated on that, and also some of the things we did in terms of capacity building in many agencies, including LEC and some other agencies in government, to which the EU ambassador has alluded to. But I want to say that a lot of other opportunities, other facilities benefited from this investment, such as 50 health facilities we are connected, 65 academic institutions we are also connected or will be connected to this. We have 43 government and public facilities, and 250 small businesses will all benefit from this. This is not the only investment that is done by the African Development Bank. In the past few years, we have up to 4 projects that are just in the energy sector. LEEP was one, and we have the SLSG, that's the CSLSG, that's the Cote d'Ivoire, Sierra Leone, Liberia, Guinea interconnection project, which actually allows Liberia to connect to other countries' power pool and to be importing energy from Cote d'Ivoire. Then it has also given Liberia the opportunity to actually connect to the West African power pool. In addition, this project has also brought some socioeconomic benefit to this country, we believe, because it could have contributed to business growth and job creation, crime reduction, and it has also led to community cohesion just because of the facilities. We have our last project that is currently ongoing, which is the renewable energy for electrification in eastern Liberia. This is also another promising project. Once completed, can add to the availability of electricity and energy access in general. I just want to conclude, Mr. Vice President, that the African Development Bank present its commitment to continue supporting Liberia, not only in the energy sector, but in almost all the sectors that we are operating. Our current strategy has ended, or is ending this year, and we are in discussions or in dialogue with government to prepare our next year's strategy, our next 5-year strategy, starting from 2026 to 2030. And in that, I can conclude that we affirm our commitment to continue to support Liberia. Thank you very much.
Representative from the African
Thank you
Development
very
Bank.
much. Our next remark is going to come from Minister Charles Umeha, proxy for the Minister of Mines and Energy.
Your Excellency, Honorable VP, Vice President of the Republic of Liberia, ambassadors and members of the diplomatic corps, members of the folk estate present, ministers, community leaders, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the Honorable Minister Belmont JMP, Minister of Mines and Energy, who couldn't be here because we had to attend 7 o'clock meeting with one client, and unfortunately while on his way there was a big celebration in Monrovia, so he got caught up in traffic. Be that as it may, he's here with us, I know in spirit, because this program is very key to him. First of all, I'd like to express our sincere thanks and appreciation to our international partners, the European Union, the African Development Bank, the GEF, and Global Gateway. This project started way back, and we've always been part of the steering committee. We chair the steering committee, and I can fully remember how tirelessly my good brother out there used to call me every day, Henry, Minister, we have to get this meeting. Minister, we have to get this meeting going. Fortunately, we had series of meetings, unlike before. He emphasized that there were lack of meetings, but coming in, we ensured that we had these meetings on track. This couldn't have occurred at a better time, because looking at the just ended retreat at the Vice President farm, This clearly shows the government commitment to ensuring that all the agreement that the president had to sign in Tanzania coincides and lies exactly in what we are trying to do here. First of all, the president has committed to the increase of electricity by 8%. That is yearly, on average, we are supposed to connect 100,000 households. And this commitment has to do with 60%, 60,000 through the grid and 25,000 through off grid. Having been here to commission this substation clearly shows, and with the vice president present, that yes, we are on the right trajectory in accomplishing the president compact agreement. We shouldn't also forget that we have to increase access to clean water. With the commissioning of this substation, I am 100% sure that it's going to improve and increase access to clean cooking. Like Ambassador Nona Dupree said, yes, the government is committed to ensuring that bills are paid. And with that, through the Ministry of Finance and the Ministry of Mines and Energy, implementation is currently ongoing for the issuance of prepaid meters to all government ministries. These are strides that government is making to ensure that our electricity and the LEC becomes a viable utility cooperation. Honorable VP, again, my sincere thanks and appreciation for your continuous commitment and effort in ensuring that the energy sector in Liberia and our energy access in Liberia is fully increased and achieved. On behalf of the Minister of Mines and Energy and the staff of the Ministry of Mines and Energy, again, I want to say a big thank you to our donor partners, and I want to say thank you for having us here. Thank you.
Next, we have Councillor Emmanuel A. Tule Sr., Chairman, LEC's Board of Directors.
Honorable Jeremiah Koung, Vice President of the Republic of Liberia, Madam Deputy Minister of Finance, Anna Brasco, Mr. Deputy Minister of Mines and Energy, Charles LEEA, the EU Ambassador, and other ambassadors here from the European Union person, the UK Charity Affairs, the African Development Bank, and other partners present, other government officials here present, the Managing Director, staff of the Liberia Electricity Corporation, the Chairman of the Board of RIA, Madam Mayor, and the people of Unification City, the media, and well-wishers. Let me join the Minister of Mines and Energy to express thanks and appreciation to our donor partners who have been constantly engaging with the government of Liberia, and especially in the electricity sector, to ensure that we have access to electricity for our people. we can't stop thanking you because you continue to enhance the government's ability to deliver affordable and reliable electricity to our people. Although the Liberia Electricity Corporation faces huge challenge in generation capacity, notwithstanding, we continue to receive the support in expanding electricity to the various communities and other countries to allow our people to have access to electricity. According to statistics from donor partners, the World Bank, African Development Bank, and others, we have around 33% of our people having access to electricity. And even other than 33%, we still have just around 8 to 9% of that 33% of our rural people having access to electricity. So you have around between 45 to 48% of the urban people having electricity. That's a huge gap. As a country, it is our responsibility to light up our country, to allow our people to have access to electricity, and to be able to service their businesses, to be able to provide economic activities for themselves, and to provide for health facilities, schools, and industries. A country cannot grow its economy in the absence of reliable electricity. Now, LEC from its point has placed into its custody several of the strategies that have been developed over the past. And one of the areas where the donors have been looking at LEC itself to take some steps to ensure that we can be able to generate some funds to run our electricity, because most of these things that come, the donors will give them to us, some by grant, some by loan, but the LEC itself has to maintain them, has to run them, and they are costly to run. Electricity generation, electricity operation is costly to run. And that's why this board, the board of directors of the LEC, just a few months ago, took a step to transition most of our government agencies, especially the non-medical and non-security institutions, to pre-pay metering. From the projection that we have seen, it has helped LEC to try to access more funds to be able to run some of our maintenance and operation, to take care of most of our maintenance and operational costs. And therefore, we would like to call on our people, those who are direct beneficiaries of these projects, in terms of access to electricity. LEC cannot generate the fund. Electricity is not free. To generate is cost. To maintain it is cost. So currently we are experiencing a loss of around 50% of what we generate because we are faced with the challenge of power tech. We want electricity, but when it's given to our community, we say, oh, LEC is here. And people try, as cheap as it is, people still try to steal it. Not be realistic. We can't continue to steal the current, and then LEC cannot generate the money to continue to maintain it. It's wrong. Let's face it. At the end of the day, we said the government has not done well. The donor partners are there supporting us, and then we are undermining ourselves. It's wrong. Let's face it. There's no need to be diplomatic about this. If we must fix this country electricity problem, we have to face the challenge of power tech. Power tech is killing LEC, power tech is killing Liberia's electricity promises. So, before I take my seat, I'd like to again thank the donor partners and please call upon you that LEC would like to now begin diversification of power generation. We've talked to this hydro, power plant for over the years, and we have not achieved access, at least appreciable access to electricity. Please try to help us look in the direction of diversification of electricity, to diversify our sources of generation. The other day, there was a news that, CRE has had some challenge, so we're going to have some problem getting power to it. If we try to harness our own and manage it well, we'll be able to not rely on other countries to supply us. So I just want to ask the donor partners and the government to continue to look in other directions, so that we can be able to diversify our sources of energy. And we know there are people around here, independent power producers around the sub-region and elsewhere, who are willing to come in to help us. We've been talking to some of them. Thank God the Vice President has been named by the President to chair this coordination of electricity, and he's very much in charge of it and doing well, coordinating with most of the institutions that are electricity generating institutions or policy institutions. So I want to say thank you, and please, people of Liberia, let's take what the donors have given us and use it wisely so that we can continue to have access to electricity. Thank you.
He's the chairman of the board of the
Our last remark for this
Corporation, the board
segment
chairman.
comes from the Minister of Finance, Individual and Planning. We welcome to the podium Mrs. Minister Tanem Brunson for her remark.
So, finance. So next is the minister from the finance ministry, Tanem Brunson.
Good morning to everyone. Your Excellency, Vice President Jeremiah Pankoun, other distinguished members of the government here present, our development partners, residents of this community, ladies and gentlemen. It is my honor to welcome you to today's commissioning ceremony for the Liberia Energy Efficiency and Access Program, which is a transformative initiative that marks a milestone in our nation's journey towards sustainable development and progress. This project, generously funded by the African Development Bank, with support of our other development partners, is a testament of our collective commitment to expanding access to electricity, promoting energy efficiency, and strengthening human and institutional capacities that are the backbone of our electricity sector. Today, we not only celebrate the completion of a critical infrastructure, but also the far-reaching benefits that will improve the lives of many across Liberia. One of the cornerstones of this project is the construction of transmission lines extending from Pinsville to RIA substation. The essential infrastructure upgrade ensures that electricity can be distributed more reliably and efficiently, laying the groundwork for modern, resilient power systems. In addition, We successfully connected customers along vital corridors, including the Owens Grove, Plebo, and Fishtown corridors, thus extending benefits to improve energy access to households, businesses, and communities that have long waited for these services. But the impact of the project goes beyond cables and substations. By strengthening institutional capacities across entities, we have also ensured that the system we have put in place will continue to be operated and effectively and sustainable. This capacity building is crucial in fostering an environment where innovation, accountability, and excellence thrive, ensuring that the progress we celebrate today will continue and yield benefits for generations to come. The positive impact of these interventions are already visible in various aspects of our development, including improved and reliable access to electricity, which is fueling the growth of local businesses and creating new job opportunities. This in turn contributes to safer communities as the availability of energy improves street lighting and public safety. Furthermore, by providing stable and modern energy infrastructure, we are strengthening the social bonds within our communities, enabling better communications, improved access to education and healthcare, and more connected and engaged society. Today, as we commission the Liberia Energy Efficiency Access Project, we not only mark the culmination of tireless effort by dedicated teams and partners, but also light the way for a future where every Liberian can enjoy the benefits of modern energy services. Our shared vision for a brighter, more prosperous Liberia is becoming a reality, and this project stands as a shining example that we can achieve when we work together with commitment and purpose. I would like to express my sincere gratitude to the African Development Bank Group for their unwavering support, and all the government officials, engineers, technicians, community members who have contributed to this project. Their collaboration and dedication have been instrumental in transforming challenges into opportunities and lighting up our nation's future. As we celebrate today's future, let us look ahead with optimism and resolve. Let this project be a beacon, serve as a beacon of what is possible when investment in infrastructure, efficiency, and capacity building is aligned to our nation's goal. Together, we can build a foundation to create a resilient, vibrant, and sustainable energy future for Liberia. Thank you for joining us at this celebration. We thank you for your continued commitment to the nation's progress. Let us move forward together, energized by the promise of a better tomorrow. Thank you.
Representative from the Finance Ministry there was speaking. So again, if you're just joining us, this is the commissioning of the Liberia Energy Efficiency and Access Project, LEEP for short. So that's how it is, and this is where we are today, coming to you live and direct along the Rabat International Airport route, where you have the RI substation. So there we are. So, and now, the Vice President coming.
Also members of the Liberian Cabinet, Councillor Emmanuel A. to the Senior Chairman, Board of Directors, the Liberia Electricity Corporation, the Interim Managing Director, Mr. Thomas Z. Koung and LEC, the Lord Mayor of the Unification City, Madam Smith, and great citizens of this wonderful city, Excellencies, and our illustrious development partners, government officials, members of the further state, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. At this occasion, marking the commission ceremony of the Liberia Energy Efficiency Access Project, I am honored to invite the second citizen of Liberia, the Honorable Jeremiah Koung, Senior Vice President of Liberia, for a special statement.
We get close already.
No, don't tell the poor gadget.
Thank you. Please be seated. I want to start by recognizing officials of government here present, the LEC family, our development partners here, citizens, the media, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I bring you greeting from Your Excellency Joseph Yuma Boakai Sr., President of the Republic of Liberia, who have loved being here, but because of some pressing national engagement and because of the importance he attached to this project, he has asked me to proxy on his behalf. Let us start by thanking our partners, the African Development Bank, the EU, and all the other partners for providing the resources that got this project up to date. I'd like to say thank you. I also want to thank you for training Liberians, as I heard that the management of this project, the maintenance, will be Liberian. I want to say thank you. When you build a project of such a train Liberian along the way, where when most of the experts leave the country, Liberians can manage it, and the project is viable. I'd like to say thank you for that. We are doing well with access to electricity. Our biggest problem now is generation. There where our problem is, and these are some of the reasons why we called a meeting in Lima this weekend to talk about availability of electricity. Electricity is security. When you listen to the radio every morning, our people talk about the bread and butter issue. The bread and butter starts with electricity. With electricity, the cost of living can reduce drastically. I say so because today, most of our people go to the market every day and cook every day because they don't have electricity for storage. So you cook today, by tomorrow morning, if you have some food left over, you have to waste them and go back to the market because electricity that provides storage is an issue. If we address electricity, availability of electricity, if we can address it, we'll be addressing the bread and butter issue. Somebody can go to the market today, get food, and you can manage that food for the week. Because when you eat the balanced one, you got your little small refrigerator, you can keep it there and use the microwave the next morning. Electricity is the foundation of health. No doctor in the hospital will look at the patient and say, from your face, you are suffering from this. You need a diagnostics center to work. They require electricity. Without electricity, whether somebody gave you a CT scan, MRI, X-ray, they wouldn't function because there is no electricity. Electricity is so important. And that's why on the arrest agenda, the E is energy. Agriculture is the first, the letter A. But agriculture will never work if electricity is not available. Electricity and roads are the two pillars today for this country's growth. The electricity comes first. I've listened to most of our partners, and I'd like to say thank you. Most of our plans are toward the 2030. But our people are running out of patience. This electricity issue can crumble a country. When we listen to the radio every morning, sometimes you go on the social media, it has become a joke now. And that joke is serious. Someone will post and say, at Duper Road, we are in darkness. What happened to your community? And then the other people will start to post. You go wake up one morning and the people take the street and they can bring the government down. Renewable energy, the solar farm you are doing here, that should be done here at the sheltering area, we'd like to say thank you. The hydro coming up, the extension of the Mount Coffee, we'd like to say thank you. But this weekend in Nimba, one of the issues we found out was to address some of the generation issue now. I know most of you, our international partner, have problem with the thermal engine. But it seems to be that the only quick solution we have now. At Bourgeois Island, we have few generators there that provide us about 38 megawatts, if I'm not mistaken. I am told the capacity there can take up to 100 plus megawatts. While we are working on solar, especially during the drought, the hydro comes on. But during the drought, there's serious issue with power that leads to a lot of deaths in our hospitals. Imagine someone on the operation table in the OR, and then LEC is rationing electricity, and all of a sudden electricity is gone. All the anesthetic machine, everything shut down. Somebody can lose their life in that time. It's just that our country is not so sophisticated to the extent that most time people die in the hospital. People want to follow up and make sure the family wants to know why the person died. In America and the Western world, they sue people when the hospital is careless and the cause of death is at the expense of the hospital. In Liberia, we don't have that capacity, and so most time we leave it with God. So whether it was electricity, that during the course of the surgery, electricity went, LEC could not continue with this community, they went to the next community, and the person died. All we say is that God, we have to focus on generation. So we would like to talk to our partners that the government, we intend to, based on our meeting, will be reporting to the president, and in that report will be investment in generators to provide electricity during the drought. For a short time, once most of these renewable energy start to get on the grid, we start to shut down those generators based on the availability of renewable energy. If we don't do that, we are in trouble. And sometimes when you listen to the other side of the debate, as we speak, because of electricity, there's no availability of electricity, though they are assets. If this community today cannot get electricity, all of the homes here, they got their own smaller generators. So whether it's 2 kVA, 3 kVA, 4 kVA, 5 kVA, I know the airport got 1,000, 2,000, 2 plus 1,000 engine, they're running. If you put all those CO2 going out together and calculate them, it will be equivalent to what the government will do here, and the people will be okay. So it's better we shut the hundreds of thousands of generators every night disturbing the community off and keep one center. That electricity will be more cheaper using the heavy fuel, not equivalent to renewable, but since the renewable takes some time to get there, in the short term, it seems that's the only option we have. And I know we'll be talking that over with you. I listened to the board chairman when he talked about 50%, and then I got concerned straight. I asked the interim management team and said 50%, and he said no, 27% of electricity power theft, 27%. That's a huge number. Electricity is business. It must contribute to government. Electricity cannot be a liability for over I don't know how many years, and we can't find a solution. And the solutions are available. We just need to be intentional. One of the issues based on the discussion in LEEA, we came up with a distribution is LEC problem. LEC has some weakness in distribution. Distribution meaning in the communities, most time the people working with LEC or some LEC employees that will retire, or maybe they fire that person for misbehavior. Those are the people in the community connecting people. And they connect them and they collect the fees from them when month ends. LEC is taking money from people. Most of the projects, some of them are rent, some of them are loan we must pay. And that's why every year as our budget number grow up, when you start to look at your loans, then there's no space for new development. So somebody will ask question, in 2013-14, Madam Sali was president, they ran a budget of 500 million, between 5 to 600 million. And things seems to be moving the same way they are moving. We are now at about 700-800 million, and things stay the same. Why? There's a jump of almost 200-300 million. Why are we not improving on other things? It's because we have to pay some of these debts. These debts, most of them, some of them don't come free, it comes with interest. And if we are producing electricity and creating assets for our people and they cannot pay, then we get bad debts. If you get bad debt, government sign for it, government must go to other funding that are coming to pay for bad debt because some bad people in the community are causing problems. They are being studied on both in Grand Junior and LEEA that shows that if you give the distribution to private people, LEC will curtail the losses from 27 to maybe to 5%. Because at that point, it's not LEC business. Assuming this substation, LEC found company X to take care of this substation, you know the technology you're using, and give it to this company and say, look, set a meter here. All LEC need to focus on at the end of the month is how many electricity went to this community through this meter and build a company. If it is possible, people are available. Let LEC find people who will prepay, make deposit, give bank guarantee, so that when month ends, we can't be running after you. If we go that way, a lot of people will invest in generation. And as our partner help us to expand on asset and generation, if some private people start to get involved, the problem of electricity will soon be a history, and the bread and butter issue will be a guess. If we cannot take care of electricity, regardless of what we do in this country, it's almost a waste of time. Most of our mothers from this highway, they grow their crops, whether it's potato green, vegetable, potato green, bitter ball pepper. They grow fresh. They put their energy and time in it. When they harvest it and take it to red light, You get a potato green in the morning, and if they buy half of it and the other half by evening time, the sun already got to shrink. The next morning, the people want fresh potato green. Then you have to waste that one. Then the person get discouraged. For all the time I spent in the swamp, I lost everything. This is a waste of time. No need to be here. Maybe I need to move to the city. So you see the city getting crowded. People are leaving the interior when we should be encouraging people to stay in the interior. So I'd like to say thank you to our partners for the project I'm listening to in the southeast, River G and other places. I want to say thank you. But again, generation is becoming an issue as access is being taken care of gradually. Generation is becoming an issue. And if it was a math, then generation plus asset equivalent to electricity in the community. Thank you. God bless you.
Vice President Honorable Jeremiah Pancon there making a special statement.
All right, so before we get the vote of thanks, I just want to announce two things. Number one, right after the vote of thanks, we were just lined up here with the Vice President and his immediate entourage. We're lined up here just to take a picture with the emblem. And number two, we will have we'll have to walk over to the substation so the Vice President can do us the honor of cutting the ribbon to officially commission this project. So. With your permission, sir, we will, if you don't mind, we'll just walk right after, and then we'll just go over there and you can cut the ribbon for us. But we're going to limit that. We're going to limit the participants for this activity. It's a substation. We will need only a few people, so we've identified the interim managing director, just as it is in your program. We're going to have the Deputy Minister of Mines for Energy. We're going to have the African Development Bank officer in charge. We have the EU ambassador. So these people have already been giving their PPEs. So we're gonna just walk over there and he's gonna cut the ribbon to officially commission this project. Before I turn the microphone over, I'd just like to recognize the two main contractors who did this work. We have NCC, the National Contracting Company. They built the transmission lines network, and then we have Alpha T&D who did the distribution network. So just a recognition for them. Thank you.
So we have the vote of thanks, and we welcome to the podium the interim managing director of the Liberia Electricity Corporation, Honorable Thomas Z. Gonkowa.
Honorable Vice President, other government officials here present, our international funders, our donors, the Margibi family, the LEC family, our folk estate, ladies and gentlemen. I think all is said, but we just like to emphasize this, that our commitment to energy supply in Liberia is unwavering. We are prepared to make sure that the arrest agenda, the Mission 3000, Mission 300, will be accomplished over the span of the time. Having said that, it's very important that Liberia as a country has energy sovereignty. And to be able to do that, we must have an efficient energy sector. We must look at the governance framework that manages the energy sector and reform it also. Whether it is private, whether it is public-private, whether it is public, there must be an efficient energy sector to be operated. We would like to take this time to tell all of you for your valuable time taken, adding to the value you attach to this project, and to be here today. We'd like to say to our donors, there's a lot to be done, and we stand ready to work. We'd like to say to the government, there's a lot to be done, and we also stand ready to work. To all of you, we say again to the LEC staff, I know that sometimes they say we do the negative things. Yes, I do agree. But I can tell you that we will make sure that all of these negative things are cracked on. And I can assure you that the efficiency, the proficiency, the productivity of the LEC staff will be changed. And to the public, we can assure you that the issue of power theft will be stemmed. And we can assure you that LEC will become an institution financially viable. So I thank you all for coming, and we'll go by the protocol.
Thank you very much. This is how we come to an end of this official program. Verite Sonkale is my name. I've been your MC. So we're going to do the photography right here.
Okay, so that's how we come to the end of today's event. It has to do with the commissioning of the Liberia Energy Efficiency and Access Project LEEA. That's it. So it's now time for photo and everything.
Carry my telephone. And to get something
So we want to start by thanking the European Union for their support of this project, the African Development Bank, and all the other partners. I wanted to thank you. We'll cut this in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Blessed Holy Spirit.
Okay, Vice President Jeremiah Koung has just cut the ribbon towards the substation here at the Rabat International Airport substation here. So you can see him with the interim managing director and then that of the project manager, Henry Kimat, briefing the vice president and that of official. So that's it. This is the official Facebook page of the Liberia Legislative Corporation. Today we found ourselves along the Rabat International Airport route where the commissioning of the Liberia Energy Efficiency and Access Project LEEA is in full. So that's it. See the EU ambassador delegation, the LEEA project manager, also interim managing director, Thomas.
And over here, this will have our backup generator. Diesel generator. So just if for example, it's a shut down, still need a substation. This is not a playground, so we'll never go there. yeah, but so we'll take you upstairs.
So this is how the building is like. This is the substation. So all of these efforts are meant towards improving service delivery. We'd like to say a big congratulations and thanks to our donor partners for the support being given to or being provided to Liberia's energy sector. So
I think hospitals, they are not on.
So we will catch begin when Henry came out. He will give more.
This is what this is our 66 hours. These are the people operating the software for now. Jones, you're over here, right?
Yeah, Bill.
Just tell the vice president what did you have here.
First of all, welcome to our president. We're happy that you're here what to do. This is our 66 honor room, where we store our 66 higher power. This is our feeders.
Don't do technical.
Okay, no
problem. The other side probably what you more interested in. So you show you the other side. Once you turn the person off, all that good thing, all the fun stuff is done on the other side. This is hard for this side. So
this hard for this side. We got two hard for them and coming this way. Okay. Now one of the two. So we want this to be.
What's the capacity?
10 MBA times 2.
One less.
From the
Can't follow them.
It's a pleasure you have the back myself where we supply food different communities. We have our RIA expert. We supply the airport. We also have St. John. From here to the bridge, they're almost in the hospital.
The bridge on this side.
Okay, the other side. We have Charlesville. As you are aware, we have accident. So the unification, Charlesville, one of them. So we feed them from this one, which is called Name Charlesville. So far, so good. We have 3 feet here.
What's the load right now on it? So you go back to the capacity.
Okay, for each of them, no, for now we have the St. John carrying 0.244.2 megawatts, 0.244. So now here in one.
Bigger speed.
Yes. And then we got the Charlesville, the combined feeder. We have unification town. We have 0.27. So now even 1 megawatt here.
That's my base load now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Then we have the airport.
I saw the two transformers, how are the capacity, and when you compare it to the current load, how is the load ratio, to give us an overview how many years it takes to reach the capacity.
Well, it's 210 MVA transformers.
Personally, it's 210 MVA, so it's 20 MVA.
How many
compared to now?
No, it's
So say where we got this much time before anything, we need to go for a generator, so why not?
Just to be sure that we don't need additional capacity here.
But Tom, 1 second, please. So we said 10, all right? So the it's 10. So even if we use one at a time, you know. Okay. So right now he just told you the low got 0.2, 0.2, and 0.6. So you got 1. Okay. So you got right now you know I said 1% of one of the transformers. That's what it is.
So it means that even
about 10% of one of the transformers.
Even in 5 years, we do not need to increase the capacity and service. We secure that we are fully.
And right now we're using it redundantly, obviously.
So if you were to be asked how many total, how much are you using?
Well, right now, I didn't know.
Not today, on an average year.
What's your peak?
So you got 10.
Yes.
How many power you got flowing in? You feel like you got a 20 coming in when you have full level?
That's what that.
No, okay. The capacity of the substation is just the capacity to receive. Yeah, and then put out. Sure. So that receiving is based how much are you receiving now? Presently, about peak load around here is somewhere around 2 megawatts. 2 megawatts. Yeah. So 2 megawatts. 2 out of 20. 2 out of 10 because you need to have redundancy. So we have a capacity of 8 spare waiting to distribute.
It's 80%.
To get out. So it's about 80%.
Not just to expect, but in fact, in fact, it is a substation. There is nothing to add. It is just something that comes in and go out. So there is nothing that's
So I'm asking because assuming you wanted to invest in generation now, how many capacity you need to the extent that the state cannot receive energy? You get it?
Yes.
Is receiving a full capacity or is receiving far less, and if you have other generation, other power coming, you can still receive it.
We can still receive it. We have the capacity at this substation to receive more power to connect more people at this substation. We have the capacity.
So you are able to receive. That's why I said you have the capacity here for 20 megawatts. Yeah. Currently, we are just using a capacity of 2. So it means that we are, and that's what I said to the projection. Maybe in the 5 upcoming years, you are able
to take more.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this has been built to grow. I mean,
yes.
to
consider all the growth.
It's the fund of
they have the capacity.
The fund of the
If you look at our other substation, Pinsway, Gardeners Way, and Stockton Creek, they are already at capacity. Then we can take and we can go in the further. And there are huge demand there, so we need to upgrade our substation.
So we here with zero chance, we are covered. That's what I'm concerned about.
That's why we are also
No, we understand. You can
the capacity of the transmission lines. Because once you have more capacity there, we would need to upgrade the transmission lines.
Yes, and there is a transmission line between Mount Coffee and Wishwall, Mount Coffee and Pinsway. And like we are saying, for the solar plant, because the solar plant and the hybrid will not operate together. So when hybrid is going off, the solar company, we are covered. But when we are upgrading Mount Coffee, with the additional 60 megawatts, we need to upgrade that line.
So we're looking into that investment.
Yes.
But that is a lot of money. That would be like 50 million.
Correct.
God help us all.
Because we need to build 2 transitional substations. The first thing we have to take from 66 to 132. And when we get it to Pinsway, we have to bring it back to 66 and infuse it into the existing substation. All that cost take into consideration the land acquisition, especially in Pinsway. I think the story about acquiring small land in Pinsway is now a small trouble. So we factor all of that in there. So
give statistics there on what are the technical losses? What are we minimum of that?
For our technical losses, transmission we are covered. We are somewhere around 3 to 5% of transmission losses. Yes, transmission losses. And distribution losses is
transmission
3 to 5.
Yes, it is a standard.
Yes.
What about distribution?
The distribution we have not calculated fully yet, but we estimate our distribution losses around 50.
How much?
1.5.
So this is where
We don't know. To have the distribution losses, it is the combination.
Let's talk about technical discussion later on.
technical losses.
Thank you so much. You see the calculation. It is easy to determine the loss in transmission because they have meters.
There's a good background for the vice president. There's a good background, right?
Yeah.
There's a good background for you, sir. Yeah, just okay, I'm sorry.
So this is one of the substations. The other is in the Shuffling Township, done by our donor partner, none of the LEC management.
Sorry about that.
So it's a little break again. The photo.
Yes, Mr. Omar. Just watch the background.
Same thing.
I'll come back tomorrow.
So after the assessment tour,
One, go. And it ends tour of the Vice President. Go. Thank you so much, sir.
It's in the tour of the Vice President.
Oh, no, no.
Thank you. Nice
No, thank you, sir. Thank you, Governor. We have to talk about it. We have some things to talk about.
That's how we come to the end of
Right? How you, boss?
Yeah, it's just
You have time, man. I do have time.
Okay. Yep, that's how we come to the end of the Vice President tour and his new year along the Roberts International Airport route, where the observance of the commissioning ceremony of the commission ceremony of the Liberia Energy Efficiency and Access Project was been carried out just a few hours ago. So we're now leaving the RI substation, making our way to where the program was held today. So if you're just joining us, we'd like to say the pleasant. So the board chair, Councillor Emmanuel Ture, and the Vice President in closed chat. And in a moment from now, we're going to be closing this all important interview. And as I said, yes, still for the Chief Superintendent, 169 is also here. Mrs. Veritas Onkane is also here. She's been mastering the program. TC Bodi from the European Union, head of communication there, is also here. Okay, so that's it. Deputy Minister from the Lands and Mine Ministry is also here. So that's it. So closed chat conversation is ongoing, and any moment from now we're going to be making our way. Any moment from now we're going to be making our way. Thanks so much for following.